this meeting to order. Roll call.
Trutchell. Here. Patman. He's here.
He's at the hallway.
Kroll. Here. Patrick.
Here.
Neal.
Here.
Gray.
Here.
Lorena. Here. Corcoran.
Here.
Ames.
Here.
Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda this evening is the approval of minutes from our last meeting. I think the council members have had a chance to look at those. Are there any corrections, or do we have a motion to approve as submitted? Mrs. Ames make a motion to approve, seconded by Mr. Florina. Roll call.
Trutchell. Yes. Patman. Kroll.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Lorena.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes.
Ames.
Thank you. That brings us to reports and committees. Mr. Trutchell.
Thank you, President Elenardo. The Finance Committee has one item on tonight's agenda, the second reading of ordinance to appropriate $45,000 for computer-related expenses for the Chillicothe Municipal Court. These expenses are court within the courts. They have nothing to do with our general fund. And at the appropriate time, due to the fact that we're getting near the end of the year, I'd like to motion to waive the three-read rule so we can pass this tonight. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Trutchell. Ms. Gray.
Thank you, President Elenardo. The Human Resources Committee has one item on the agenda this evening, item number 4, which is the first reading of ordinance to authorize the mayor to enter into a contract with representatives of the Jefferson Health Plan, the City of Chillicothe Health Insurance Plan, as negotiated by Tomlinson Insurance for calendar year 2016. And as we are quickly rolling out the end of the year, we need to be able to get this passed as soon as possible, so I will request at the appropriate time to waive the three-read rule. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Gray. Other reports. Mr. Chapman.
Thank you, Madam President. Item number 2 tonight, I am going to table. We're still waiting for a finalization of an amendment we want to make, and it's not quite ready. So it won't be read.
Does that complete your report?
Are you making a motion to table this
Yes,
time?
please.
Motion has been made to table, seconded by Ms. Gray. Roll call.
Trutchell.
Yes.
Patman.
Yes.
Kroll.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Gray.
Yes.
Lorena.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
Item 2 will be tabled and not read this evening on the agenda.
Item 3, we need to waive the three-read rule, and I'll bring that at the time of the reading. And I'm waiting on another piece of legislation that's not here yet. Hopefully we get it here before the end of the meeting. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Chapman. Other reports? Ms. Patrick.
Not really a report, just a question. I did not receive a copy of item number 3 in my packet.
Did everyone else get it? I've got an extra copy of the complete packet. Mrs. Patrick,
Pardon?
I have an extra copy of the complete packet.
I've got the contract, I just don't have the resolution.
Yeah, that's,
That's the first one.
I've got the whole thing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
And you did get it through email though?
Yes, I did.
All right.
Thank you.
Other reports, please. Then we'll move to reports of officials. Mayor Everson.
Thank you, President Elenardo. I'd like to call a couple of events that are coming up here to the council for attendance. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at CHS Auditorium will be Tyler's Light. Tyler's Light is a story of the son of Wayne Campbell, who I got to know pretty well over a year ago. tragically lost his son to heroin overdose. And he does a lot of work with schools across the state, and telling his story and telling young people to stay away from the danger of drugs. It's well worth the time. He's a great orator, has a good compelling story to tell, and I'd encourage your participation tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at CHS Auditorium. Second event coming up is Thursday, November 5th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's a retail theft reduction panel discussion at the Christopher Conference Center. It'll feature a program devised by Chief Washburn to help area retailers avoid thefts in their businesses. We've gotten to know that Walmart in Chillicothe over the last year has experienced over $1 million of theft. Our Walmart. And most of that is due to feed the drug traffic across the city. So Chief Washburn's come up with a pretty ingenious plan to help combat that, and it'd be well worth the listen to if you can make it 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Thursday, November 5th. Thirdly, I'd like to talk a little bit about the budget. We're approaching the point where all the fields are loaded in. I'm waiting on 4 different budgets from the municipal court right now, among some others that are not loaded into the software yet. But due to the campaign this year and requests by some of the candidates that we postpone budget review and tying up evenings before the election, we will postpone budget review until after the election for the convenience of those that are candidates. And I'll publish that schedule on Friday by email to all council. And then finally, I'd like to ask for your positive vote for item number 4, Jefferson Health Plan. We worked really hard to get a good plan for health care coverage for the city at a good price for 2016. I think it's due to our advantage to get this passed tonight so that we can move forward with that program. And that completes my report.
Thank you, Mayor. Auditor Feeney.
Nothing for the good of the order tonight.
Law Director Ridgeford.
Thank you, President Alenardo. The Law Director's Office recently responded to a questionnaire from the Heroin Partnership Program in preparation for a meeting that's scheduled tomorrow, October 27, 2015. My office has pledged to continue supporting the partnership, and we look forward to working with the other agencies to come up with a solution for this serious issue. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. We'll move to audience participation. Is there a question?
We just have a question on the November 5th presentation. Where will it be?
Christopher Conference Center.
I'm going to open the floor for audience participation. Is there anyone who would like to address council this evening?
My name's Alan Davis. I live at 370 Braidwood. The last time council met for a general session like this, I brought some information on the financial health indicators. And then for 2 days I sat there and I said, it'd be nice to know how we do on them. So I went out to the state auditor's site and I pulled up the reports for the last 10 years of audits that appeared to give us the information so we could actually score, figure out scores on how we do on those 16 indicators. Now, 4 of the indicators say you compare a benchmark, but I haven't found what that benchmark value is, so I don't know how those would score. And again, there's a possibility that I've done something wrong, but the second page of the second piece of paper of the staple part of the package that I handed out showed the 16 indicators and what the values that I came up with, and hopefully I did my job, did the work correctly to give you a trending on how individual indicators have trended over the last 9 or 10 years. One of the 4 that they just say they compare to benchmarks is condition of capital, and it's just a technical way of giving a sense of how old our assets are, and that's buildings, equipment, infrastructure, vehicles, those kinds of things. And I did my own evaluation, it could be wrong, but since that's probably a critical score on that one, because the average age, the percent depreciated, which is what they judge it on, we're up to about 67% of the cost has been depreciated. And that's a pretty high level. That's the second page of that staple package, shows by the different categories, what it was in 2005, what it is in 2014. And off to the right-hand side is a calculation that I'm used to. We used it out at the health system when I was there, and it's pretty common in private industry, is average age of plant and equipment, and ours is about 20 years. A comparable number when I was out at the health system was, we were running at about 7. So, as we all know, we have old and outdated assets here. So, again, whether my guess that we'll be judged critical on that, I may be wrong. But if the first page just shows the 12 that were benchmarks known and how we would score on those, and then the tests for where there is no benchmark. It looks like we'd have 4 rated as critical and 7 either critical or negative, and it takes 8 to be viewed in pretty serious condition. So, so something that I think the council needs to understand as fully as they can, and to understand as we do things on the budget, what impact they have on some of these things. The last page, so it's the one not stapled to the others, is just some thoughts on the budget challenges. And there hasn't been a lot of discussion in the campaigns on the budgets or in the newspaper of the upcoming budgets. And I guess part of the reason is we haven't started the budget meetings, but from my assessment, it could be one of the tougher budgets that we face. Even with the new safety levy funds bringing in $1.4 million, there's some negative things that the city's going to have to deal with. One is there's going to be a 27th payroll, so that's going to increase expense in the general fund by close to or somewhere in the ballpark. These are all rough numbers. They could be off by a certain amount, but maybe $300,000. Are we going to transfer money from the safety capital levy fund again this year? If we don't, that's going to cut down the revenues by $350,000. And we've been paying the full salary and benefits out of the city service department for the employees of the city service department out of the street construction. Are we going to continue that, or are we going to start paying for some of that out of the general fund? Well, if we paid about half of it out of the general fund, that it also increased the expense. So you can see, even with $1.4 million in increased revenue, you start saying there are some negatives that we have to deal with. Then you get the lower part, is just things like, well, are we going to, it appears we're going to have a small loss in 2015. We have to try to make sure that doesn't occur again next year. Are we going to try to get our carry forward up? And you start seeing that there's some very significant issues on, how we're going to use that small amount of extra funds. Now again,
You have 15 seconds.
Pardon?
15 seconds.
Okay, and so this is not to be critical. It's not, and these numbers may not be fully accurate, but just the financial health indicators are important. Pay attention to them, and good luck on a tough budget.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to address council this evening? Seeing none, we'll close that portion of the meeting and we'll go to old business. Any old business to discuss this evening? Petitions and correspondence.
Madam President, I have nothing new to report.
All right. Is there new business to discuss? Mrs. Ames.
Thank you, Madam President. I just wanted to tell council that the residents from the Carlisle, they're expected to start moving in on Friday.
Wonderful.
So you just welcome them and welcome anybody who's associated with
Absolutely. Thank you for that report. Is there other new business to discuss? Mr. Trutchell?
Might be a little old business, but thanks to all the members of council, our service department, and Ted Nelson for securing our trucks there. We'll be on our way tomorrow. And thank you, Mrs. Neal, and your committee. Good job. Trucks will be here tomorrow, and we'll be set for winter. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Other new business? Are there any additional dates for committee meetings that need to be announced at this time? All right, I think that takes us to legislation.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Madam President.
Yes, sir.
Engineering Committee meeting 4 o'clock Thursday. I was contemplating something else.
4 p.m. on Thursday.
Yes,
Where is that?
35 South Main Street, across the street, administration building. Thank you.
What time?
4 o'clock.
All right, on to this evening's legislation. Item number 1.
Second reading of an ordinance appropriating $45,000 for computer-related expenses for the Chillicothe Municipal Court and declaring an emergency. Second reading.
Mr. Trutchell.
Before you state my report, I'd like to make a motion to waive the three-read rule.
Seconded by Mrs. Ames. Roll call on the motion to waive the three-read rule.
Trutchell.
Yes.
Tatman.
Yes.
Kroll.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Gregg.
Yes.
Florina.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
Motion carries. Roll call on the ordinance.
Trutchell.
Yes.
Tatman.
Yes.
Kroll.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Gregg.
Yes.
Florina.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
And the ordinance has passed. Item number 2 was tabled and will not be read. Item number 3.
First reading of a final resolution enacted by the City of Chillicothe, hereinafter referred to as the legislative authority or local public agency, in the matter of the stated described project, Route 59 resurfacing project, and declaring an emergency. First reading.
Mr. Tappan,
At this time, I'd like to waive the three-read rule, please.
is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Florina. Roll call on the motion to waive the three-read rule.
Trutchell.
Yes.
Tatman.
Yes.
Kroll.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Gregg.
Yes.
Florina.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
Motion carries. Roll call on the resolution.
Trutchell.
Yes.
Tatman.
Yes.
Kroll.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Gregg.
Yes.
Florina.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
And the resolution has passed. Item number 4.
First reading of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with representatives of the Jefferson Health Plan for the City of Chillicothe Health Insurance Plan negotiated by Tomlinson Insurance for calendar year 2016 and declaring an emergency. First reading.
Ms. Gregg.
As mentioned in my report, I would like to request that we waive the three-read rule in this legislation, please.
Seconded by Mrs. Ames. Roll call on the motion to waive the three-read rule.
Trutchell.
Yes.
Tatman.
Yes.
Kroll.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Gregg.
Yes.
Florina.
Yes.
Corcoran. Ames.
Yes.
Motion carries. Roll call on the ordinance.
Trutchell.
Yes.
Tatman.
Yes.
Kroll.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Gregg.
Yes.
Florina.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
The ordinance has passed. Ms. Gregg.
I would like to request that we have a motion to adjourn.
Which was seconded by Mrs. Ames. Roll call on the motion to adjourn.
Trutchell.
Yes.
Tatman.
Yes.
Kroll.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
Neal.
Yes.
Gregg.
Yes.
Florina.
Yes.
Corcoran.
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
We are adjourned.